Hey everybody, Fairwind Cosplay here. I just thought I might do a quick Q&A video. A couple days ago I was home not feeling well and I asked if people had any questions they wanted to ask me. So I got some really interesting and fun cosplay related questions. Just so you know, there will be more cosplay content on this YouTube channel now that the mermaiding season is over. So I thought I'd kick this off with a Q&A. So first of all, Mo the Superhero asked, how did you get started with sewing? So growing up, I didn't really have that many crafty people in my family. Neither of my grandmothers really knew how to sew, and I didn't grow up with the craft. So when I got to middle school and home economics class, I learned how to sew by hand and by machine. Didn't really go that well. So I really learned how to sew when I was in college studying costume construction. I worked in the costume shop at SUNY New Paltz in my theater major under Eleanor Wolf, and even though she was really tough on you as a professor, she always gave me a hard time, especially because I'm so anxious and tentative. I learned so much from her, and even though I'm not really a competent or confident seamstress, I really learned a lot, and I want to go out of my way to eventually make a full costume completely by scratch. Most of what I do is altering garments, ripping them up and turning them into something else, but I really want to challenge myself at some point to make a garment completely on my own. Jenny Marie Cosplay asked, what cosplay of yours did you not expect to love as much as you do now? So, last year I was asked to be a part of a DC Bombshells cosplay group for Icon, and I originally claimed Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman wasn't that difficult a costume to create. I already had the boots and the shorts and the bracers, and I was all set, and then someone in the group was like, hey, actually, can I do Wonder Woman instead? And I was kind of bummed, but I didn't really know these people, and I didn't want to start any trouble or cause any waves, so I said, okay, fine. And I thought about it, and I was like, well, I have a red wig, I have a trident from Steampunk Ariel, and I have this pair of green wedges. I'll do Mara instead. And I just loved how the costume as a whole came out. Like, I was really surprised in how much I liked myself in it. I suffer from really bad body dysmorphic disorder, so my self-esteem about my looks is really low. But I was very pleasantly surprised to see that the costume hugged my curves and I felt confident wearing it. XXT-chan asked, where did you get your fabulous Ariel wig and which Ariel cosplay is your favorite? So first and foremost, my beautiful Ariel wig is the double thick deluxe Ariel wig from Royal Enchantments. I have an unboxing and review video for that on my channel, so I'll leave the link to that below. It's beautiful, and I think the bangs need a restyle. They've deflated a little bit from constant use, but I love it so much. I've done 4 variations of Ariel over my years. I've done her Kiss the Girl town dress, I've done an original design steampunk Ariel costume, I've done her parks gown, and I've also done an original like Disney-bound, cos-bound 50s poodle skirt Ariel. The parks gown, hands down, is my favorite. That was my dream cosplay for 4 years, and I finally got to live that dream in person at Katsucon with my very own gown, and I love it to pieces, so that's definitely my favorite. But I have a huge soft spot for that little poodle skirt too. It was super cute. Creation asked, if you could only cosplay one character for the rest of your life, who would it be? This is a tough one, but I think I'd go with Zatanna. Obviously, as I age, I'm not gonna look as young as I do anymore, and I'm certainly older than I look, so I figured choosing a Disney character might not be the best idea. I'm gonna go with Zatanna from the DC Comics. Depending on who's drawing her, Zatanna's costumes are either kind of skimpy or fully covered up, and she goes from looking young to more mature, again, depending on the art style. So I think Zatanna would be a good choice for that, if only because she is a superhero, and her strength of heart and her conviction are something I don't think I could ever stop loving. Her powers are pretty fun, she's cheeky, she's flirty, she's powerful, she's in control of situations, and I really like that about her. Though Wonder Woman also has gray hair in Kingdom Come, so that could be an option too. Shade64 asks, what is your most difficult costume to make? Well, speaking of Wonder Woman, it was DC Superhero Girl's Wonder Woman. The soft parts of that costume, the garments themselves, were actually really easy alterations to make. The armor was the hardest part. I've never worked with thermoplastic before, and artist Thibra is a really fun, supposedly user-friendly product to use, but I accidentally damaged my first set of armor really badly. I follow tutorials all the time, and I just always seem to mess things up no matter what I do. I don't know. So I was trying to pop an air bubble and I ended up completely melting the plastic away from the craft foam base, and I panicked. So I had to rebuild an entirely new set of armor, and even though it came out better than the first one, there's still a lot of imperfections like fingerprints that I couldn't get out or slight indentations from where the plastic got unevenly heated, and it's uncomfortable to wear. So I modified Firefly Path's Twilight Princess Zelda pattern for this, and it's beautiful, but you can't move in it. I don't know how Wonder Woman flies around and punches people in that kind of armor. But overall, that's also my least favorite costume, and it was the toughest to make. I might try working with Thibra again, but probably on smaller pieces until I get some semblance of what I'm doing. Your boy Gilberto and Matt Nussbaum512 both asked me, what is your favorite cosplay convention? So I've been to a lot of cosplay conventions in the 10 years I've been cosplaying, and my favorite hands down is Anime Boston. Boston is such a cool city, and the convention has such a great, open, friendly vibe. The people are great, the panels and programming are great, and I always go back for my friends in the Ace Attorney fandom. I'm one of the founders of Turnabout Boston, and we always get together and have an Ace Attorney, Professor Layton themed photo shoot. Sometimes we have Ghost Trick come too, so that's always a huge thing to look forward to. Aurelian and I went by ourselves, just the two of us this year, and it was a blast. Hidashi asked, if you didn't choose Disney cosplay or mermaids, what would you choose to cosplay instead? So genre-wise, I think I would stick to comic book characters. I have a few in my arsenal. But Disney is my first love always, so my Disney characters usually tend to overpower the comics. You know what's funny, even though I started reading comics with Marvel, I don't have any Marvel costumes yet. So I think I would stick to comic book characters. I have Zatanna, I have Wonder Woman, I have 2 versions of Mera, I have a Black Canary that I haven't worn in like 50 years. And I have so many costumes that I would like to do as well. Like I've always wanted to do Phoenix or Dark Phoenix from Marvel. I want to do actually a whole bunch of Jean Grey's costumes. Rogue from X-Men Evolution. I have a very soft spot in my heart for X-Men, so that's probably what you'll be seeing from me in the future. But my dream costume, DC-wise, is actually Nightwing. And I love Nightwing so much, and I can't wait to see him in the DCEU. Tiny Does Cosplay asked, an embarrassing con or cosplay moment. Okay, normally I try to stay out of situations that would be embarrassing, but accidents happen. One thing that is slightly embarrassing that I chose to do, however, was last year I was in a production of West Side Story and I was cast as Anybody's, which was a dream part for me. Only problem was I had already made reservations for Anime Boston like a year in advance. Hotel booked, travel, deposit, everything. So I told the director like I would need an understudy for this one weekend. So I was okay with it, and then I got so attached to the production that I really didn't want to leave. So I go to Anime Boston the night of a Friday night show, and I found somebody in a shark kigurumi. Now, Anybody's is one of the jets. So I asked this person in the shark kigurumi if he could walk across the screen when I gave him the cue. So I did the opening prologue dance, and at a cue, I had the shark walk across the screen and glower at me. And I sent it to my cast, and I said, have a good show, and it was so silly and so stupid, but it was my one way of getting back with my castmates the weekend that I wasn't there, so pretty silly, but that's what you get when you work in the theater industry. Mr. Joey Render says, what do you prefer, Disney, anime, or comics? I guess as a whole, Disney is my favorite. Disney's not so much a genre as it is, I mean, I guess it is a genre when you think about it. I just love the storytelling, I love the art style, I love the lessons to be learned, the music. It's just such a beautiful thing that can be shared with families, with couples, with friends, and it appeals to people of all generations, all ages, no matter what the background. There's something for everyone with Disney. I used to be really into anime, but I don't have that many anime costumes, to tell you the truth. And I'm really picky, so if you have any anime recommendations for me, let me know. I have been told to watch Boku no Hero Academia, but I don't know, we'll have to see. And I love comic books. I really do, and I want to do more comic characters as I get older, because I think, you know, you age out of the Disney princess thing at some point. So why not fill my repertoire with beloved comic book characters instead to roll with the times? And our last question is from Some Say I'm Immodest. Any upcoming cosplay plans or ideas? Yes, I have a couple that I can share with you. So the first of them is Troya from the New Teen Titans. I have been wanting to do this character for a long time. One of the first major comic series I read was actually the New Teen Titans, the 80s George Perez and Marv Wolfman run. And Troya is Wonder Woman's younger sister. Sometimes, depending on the continuity, there's the whole "Who is Donna Troy" arc. But I love her silver and black costume. I would love to be able to get that finished for a convention that I'm going to be a guest and a panelist at in November. There will be another video about that shortly. But stay tuned, I'm working on Troya for that. I'm also working on Queen Fiora from Neopets, who is also a lifelong dream costume of mine. We're going to do a Neopets Fairies group at some point at Katsucon 19. So I'm going to be my purple-haired fairy queen. I'm still on Neopets. When did I join Neopets? I think I've been playing since I was in the 4th grade. So it's not the same account, but I played through the whole fairy plot that happened this past summer, and it was fun. So I was like, yay, Fiora, I get to be her. And I guess the last costume I really want to do in the near future is actually Nightwing. So one of my goals on my coffee is Nightwing itself. So if you'd like to help me build this costume, I will leave my coffee link. Nightwing is my current goal, and I'd love to be able to build this costume to the best of my ability. The weapons, the armor. I have a suit that I have in mind for it, which would be terrific, and I really want to make that goal a reality. For years and years and years, when I used to write fan fiction and my Twitter account, I had Nightwing in my name because he was my favorite. And I think it would be a really cool homage to 12-year-old Fairwind Cosplay if I did Nightwing. So, I mean, I have a whole bunch of costumes that I would really love to do one day. The Lady Amalthea from The Last Unicorn, Odette from The Swan Princess, Padme's entire wardrobe from Star Wars. There are so many things that I want to do, and so little time, and so little skill on my part, and so little money, because substitute teaching life is substitute teaching life. So, yeah, I have a lot of dreams and goals, and I can't wait to see what all of you come up with in the future as well. So let me head off right now. I think we're running up on 13 minutes. If you stayed and watched the whole thing, thank you. If you sent me questions, thank you so much. I hope I was able to answer them to the best of my abilities, and I hope that they're not disappointing. So stay tuned for more cosplay content. I'm really going to try and be more active on this channel with like work logs and discussions about issues in the community, and maybe showing you lookbooks or what costumes look like in their full completion. So if there's anything that you'd like to see as well as mermaid content, because a lot of you are here for mermaids, please let me know. Please don't hesitate to send me a message or leave it in the comments, and I would be happy to get back to you and do more content that you like. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye!